Sanmona and Dumelang, and welcome to another episode of what's LBNT, the podcast. And today, who's laughing? Is it you, Pamela? You know that video, Pamela, why? Pamela, why? We'll send it to you, Pamela.
Back to another episode of LBNT, the podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about COVID Made Me Do It, featuring your amazing co-host, myself, Pamela, Bontle, and me. And we have a special guest today, and his name is Obed. Round of applause. Thank you for coming, Obed. We'll get to know him during the course of the podcast. So, keep listening and enjoy.
Can I ask you something about the elections, though? So, I was fully in. Like, are you guys done counting?
You mean the election
has been announced?
No, I know it was announced, but
can you imagine? Not her asking if the results have. Well, when they already have a president, so you're asking me if the results have been uploaded. To be fair, they've done their bits. They've done what their ancestors have told them to do, and even a blind man will see. Literally, I know they don't even need a miracle to see that what they did during that election was inside election. So yeah. Like I said, they've done what they felt was right, and the people who lack integrity were unfortunately bought. But my real president, my actual president, is going to court. So look out for me in court with my wig and gown. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Everyone's really excited for that. Say what now?
I was going to say that I don't know if I told you guys, like last week I was on the train with some Nigerian girl and I just asked her like her sentiments for the election, and she was really anxious about it.
Right. A lot of people were.
And she didn't want to talk about it. She just was anxious about it, and I'm like, I just hope everything goes well. And I met her again today, and then there were no words.
Mm-hmm.
And I just give her a hug, and I'm like, I'm sorry, because I know how.
As it should be.
I just give her a hug. But there's nothing you can say though. Like,
really,
we're all just hoping that the young people would want, for once, like have their way and have somebody they're rooting for. Because it was interesting to see how a lot of young people just jumped on these elections, and I was really what they're saying.
Content as well.
But I'm also very impressed with how you guys are taking it, because we're at the civil war. But the resolve the young people have shown in Nigeria is so profound. I'm so proud of them.
I'm actually very proud.
I'm so proud. I'm hoping Indians would also look at that as well, and regardless of how the results go, they would look at how the young people in Nigeria comported themselves and would do. You guys honestly have set a benchmark for
a lot of African countries. Exactly.
Really proud of
exactly. And even I am shocked because typical Nigerians, like by now, everyone would have hit the streets, right? Everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people, because the Nigerians have the tendency to be, you know how Nigerians are. They have the tendency to be, we're ready to fight. Do you get me? We're ready to fight, so you better square up. But I was expecting that would have been the case. But then looking back now, I realized that because everyone is leadership is not necessarily just about telling people, oh, go here, go there. No, it's about the people who have trusted you enough to serve them. So basically, because Nigerians trust Peter will be enough to serve them, we trust that if he says don't do this, then we're not going to do it. Do you get what I mean? So that he has said don't, he didn't directly say don't go out to protest, but obviously he's not going to instigate violence, because there's no way on God's green earth Nigerians are going to go to the streets and it will eventually not turn to something chaotic, not because they're not peaceful protesters, but because the people who are opposing the peaceful protests will some way somehow want to make things turn to look chaotic, and then they will send thugs to the streets to make it seem like it is the peaceful protesters who are doing stuff, right? So I feel like for the most part the reason why the Nigerians or the Nigerian youth haven't gone to the streets is because we believe in the person who we have chosen to lead us. And if he says don't do anything, then we're not doing anything, right? So we trust him enough to actually take back whatever it is that we have given to him, which is our votes, So I'm very excited about, whatever will come out of this court case. I'm excited about the next couple of months, years for Nigeria, for Africa. It's really a reformation that's taking place, like down to the littlest detail, So that's very exciting. And I know that this sounds very selfish, but one of the reasons why I'm rooting for a stable economy is so that I can buy new foundation, because this dollar rate is plenty. It's plenty. So yeah, like I said, I know it sounds selfish, but I want to be able to afford the foundation I want. It's $40. But when I do the math, it's not math. Anyway, moving on.
$40 for your foundation? What the heck? Are you serious?
Is that like a good price? Is that expensive?
No, hold on. There's drugstore makeup, and then there's like the high-end ones.
Yeah.
So it's like them Fenty Beauty ones are like $40 above. Then obviously there's foundation that's like £15, £20. That's even expensive. But yeah. So the one that I not say the one I'm using. Nobody should post me on any stupid pedestal, because it's drugstore I'm using. The one I want, yes, that's what I said. So yeah, looking forward to that, really.
I was going to say, if you like Pams, please just cash up her. What do you guys use in Nigeria?
We don't use anything, no. Hey, God. That's also another. So sending money to Nigeria is such a struggle, because there's a couple of what do you put it now? Everything in this country just looks like, God, please have mercy. Anyways, at this point I'm literally begging, because there's not one thing that works. There's literally not one thing that works. But we're getting there. What works in Nigeria? It's just like regular bank transfers and a few fintech apps here and there, but nothing like international. Unless for people like the UK and Canada who use a specific app that I won't name, because they did not pay us for sponsored ads. So yeah. So yeah. But honey. Oh, is it because I said my love language is money?
No, for your foundation.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
I'll send you that again.
Right, look at my friend fighting for me. I love it. Yes, please, I'm accepting donation. Please create GoFundMe link and put it in the bio. LBNT podcast. Go and donate for Pamela Foundation.
We should actually start a wish list. We should
if we do that, nobody will come back to this podcast again because of me. Do you know how expensive my wish list are? The quality of my taste buds don't match the quantity of my pocket. So let's not wish anything list.
We'll put one thing for you.
What if the one thing is a G-Wagon? Is it that will buy it? Will you buy it? Do you have G-Wagon money? Stop it. Stop that.
That is so funny.
Did you check in with
He joined a while back. He's just been like a silent listener for the last few minutes.
Is it? This is not how I am on a normal day, by the way. Hi, Obed. Hello.
I didn't say anything. Hi, Obed.
What did you say?
I didn't want to disrupt the chat. It seemed there was really going on, and yeah, we're learning about people's love languages and everything. So yeah. Very, very important. Sometimes you just have to be quiet. You just have to be the fly on
I
the
appreciate
wall.
that you read the room. I really, really genuinely appreciate that. But yes, hello. Welcome to our podcast. My name is Pamela, if you don't know that already.
Oh, I do.
Oh, okay, cute.
I'm Bontle, but you can call me B. Yeah. Or do you want to try saying my name?
Bontle.
Say it again.
Bontle.
That's really not bad. Like, I've heard words.
Really?
Not bad. Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Oh, I try. Do you want to also introduce yourself?
Valid question.
Well, I'm Shefu, and yeah, Obed is my G. Oh, shut up, Siri. But Obed is I'm sorry. Obed is my G, like it's my real G. So
jealous, jelly.
Pamela.
I mean,
It's not unnecessary, Pamela.
No, but my name is Obed. I don't know how long I've known Ni for, but a very, very long time. But
long is relative.
Honestly,
people like time frame.
Yeah.
Time frame. Need you want to help us? Like, I know it's definitely over a decade.
yeah, it's been
Oh yeah.
yeah, maybe since I don't know 2000 and 2000. Is that it?
Yeah, ish.
That's 23
Almost 2
years.
decades.
Wait. How old are you?
Do you want to
That's
take
a
a
personal
guess?
question, honey.
Oh,
No,
I'm asking because of
I don't mind, but people
Listen.
get it wrong all the time, so I'm curious.
No, you.
I mean, you asked the question, so guess.
No,
Just not in this one.
I'm actually genuinely struggling.
like I am. I can't. Like I can't guess. Like I really can't. Cause
So try a range. So say like 27, 29. So try a range at least. Don't just keep us in the dark.
okay,
So
I would
now?
say 25, 26.
Pretty close. I just turned 24. Yeah.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah.
cute.
Pretty close. I don't know. People be saying 27, 28. Like relax.
But I can see why. Not to say you look old, but I think it's just the beard. Yeah.
Really? I'm just trying to be like Neo. I'm just, me terrorizing us with this beard gang on Instagram. We're just,
The beard oil days for you guys.
man, bro, we've come far, We've come so far.
Like trying to get to wear a beard.
Wait, so sorry, I don't know what you guys thought. But does it mean that you've known him for as long as he's been like a year old? Or like for as long as he's been born?
Yeah, almost basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh yeah, can you imagine? Okay, I think I'm more like brothers now than anything.
no,
Yeah.
of course. Makes sense.
I mean, it's totally right.
So,
Oh, so cute. Okay, now I can't be jealous anymore. It's fine. You can have it. You can have it.
oh, thank you. When he told me about the podcast, I was very excited. I was like, oh.
That's cute.
Really?
I'm sure
That
you know, sorry, I didn't very short, but I'm sure you know, or rather, I'm assuming, not that I'm sure, I'm assuming you know that, like, we're from different parts of the continent.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Do you have, like, a favorite Nigerian saying? Sorry, I don't mean to make it about myself or whatever, but yeah. Do you have, like, a favorite Nigerian saying?
Recently, I tried ofada rice, and it's very eye-opening.
Oh, no, the way you're saying it! Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed. Need try and say it. Say it. Just 1 minute, I'll come back to you.
No,
what you just
no.
said.
Again, what did you? What did you?
All of a sudden, your speaker is not working out.
Did you say ofada rice? Ofada rice?
Oh, not you
Ofada rice.
crystallizing it. What the hell? Anyways, Obed, please, back to you. I'm proud of you. Thank you very much for not murdering the name. Yeah, but what did you think about it? I mean, I'm very particular about food, so I like to like hear preferences.
Like I really like the taste. It was just the person who made it. I thought I liked spicy stuff, right? But I've come to realize that Yoruba people take it to a whole new level. Like different level. So
Ofada rice is usually made from pepper, so it's like 70% pepper, and then the rest is just like onions, garlic, ginger, etc. And a bit of
definitely this is off my radar. Sorry, guys.
Okay, clap for yourself. But is that the only Nigerian thing that you've had?
No, I frankly lived with a couple of Nigerians for a while, so most of my very good friends here, most of them are Nigerian. So whether it's egusi or fada,
hold that thought. Now that we're here, let's just settle this once and for all. Have you tasted Nigerian jollof before?
You don't want to hear my opinion.
I'll kiss you, right? It's mid, right?
I'll kiss you away from
you
this
don't want to
place.
hear my opinion.
The way you just vanish from this call, you just see that you are not in the meeting again. But okay, to be fair, I don't want to
get rid of my people.
I don't want to assume, but be honest. So I feel like with Nigerian jollof, right? If it's not made like in an authentic way by someone who actually understands the blend of flavors, it's very easy for you not to get it right. Do you get me? Because there's like very important ingredients that should be in. It's not just about mixing, tomato paste with broth and then pouring rice into it. No, it's more than that, right? So anyone could make jollof rice, right? Any Nigerian could make jollof rice, but if they don't make Nigerian jollof the way it should be made, then of course, by all means, typically regular jollof rice, I would choose Ghanaian jollof over regular jollof rice, but I would not choose Ghanaian jollof over Nigerian jollof. But brings me back to your point. So if you choose Ghanaian jollof, I can't really be mad. Unless you've tasted like original authentic jollof, Nigerian jollof rice. But go ahead, sorry.
No, once you said you prefer Ghanaian jollof, I rest my case.
I did. Hey. Don't quote me. I didn't say I prefer Ghanaian jollof. I said if the jollof is made in a why are we even talking about jollof? But wait, let's just finish. If the jollof is made in a normal jollof way, that's not like authentic Nigerian standard, I would pick Ghanaian jollof.
Get authentic Nigerian jollof. I mean, the thing is, we'll just buy from wherever. So unless you can tell me where we can get authentic Nigerian jollof, it's always be.
First off, if the jollof is not, if it doesn't have a smoky flavor, then it's not authentic Nigerian jollof. That's number one. Number two, if it doesn't have bay leaves in it, it's not authentic Nigerian jollof. If they didn't make it with goat meat broth, I doubt that it is Nigerian jollof.
What
about me? So it's late for me.
Please at the back. Okay? Sit behind. We're not talking about people like you. Nigerian jollof is not made for people like you because we can't use veggies to make broth. Who does that? Try again later, honey. But I'd rate Nigerian jollof a 9 out of 10 and Ghanaian jollof a 6. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. So I guess we're ready to get into the topic of today, B.
Hey. So, I'm sure, guys, so COVID for me, right? Yeah, COVID wasn't easy. Like the first year, 2020, right? I think it was the whole world, it was like a kumbaya moment, like come to self, the world was like on pause and it was just like, this is what life should be, just being at home. And then after that, after 2020, it went downhill. Shame. Like it really was tough. I think that's when I think a lot of people were just badly hit, like financially. People were passing away. I mean, it was really such a tough experience for everyone, right? And so I want to hear from you guys, like how was COVID for you?
So we're going to do our guest the honors and have it go just because. So please, Obed, if you would indulge us briefly We'll really appreciate that.
I think COVID for me at the start was it was interesting because we've never really been in such a situation before.
Right.
What was this thing? How does it affect us and whatnot? And initially, when it started, I didn't really give it a whole lot of thought. I was in school. School had gone on Teams, and perfect time because then I didn't have to get ready for my 8:30 classes. I just log on to Teams, record the class, and go back to bed and watch it later. You know what I mean? So I did, like, it was after, like, when you hear stories of people's friends, families being affected by it, people's jobs, it was a very, very tough moment in the lives of people I know personally. So COVID wasn't fun. And even personally for me, like, people losing jobs and stuff like that, I got affected in the mix too. So COVID wasn't fun at all. Like, I would, if I could skip those 2 years, 100% I would.
Sure. By all means. I feel like we all would, to be fair, because it wasn't, especially the fact that a lot of us felt helpless, you know, seeing on the news every day that there's thousands and thousands of people dying and healthcare workers are getting overwhelmed, and it's like nobody knows where this came from, nobody knows what the solution to the problem is, nobody knows when it will go away. Like, the uncertainty was what got to me the most. But on my own part, I feel like God actually prepared me for COVID low-key, because outside of the deaths, everything else seemed normal to me. Do you get me? Because prior to that, you know, I had moved back to Nigeria from Ghana the year before. So I was still joining, like, my church in Ghana through, like, Zoom. We used to, like, stream service. Well, I used to stream service via Zoom. So Zoom wasn't a new thing to me. I didn't have a job at the time. I was unemployed. So my routine every day was sit at home, you know, pray, eat, sleep, rinse, repeat. It's not funny. I'm not sure why you guys are laughing, but anyway, sorry, need you guys share why you're laughing briefly, please? I really appreciate that.
That's you're jobless. Oh, no, you. No, it's not
because by fire.
If, like, Adidas, vice versa, continue.
I don't blame you. Anyways, like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted.
Right.
When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion. Moving on. So I was jobless prior to COVID, and then when COVID came, you know, I didn't have to do anything different from what I was already doing. And plus, I was already, like, an introvert, like I was a recluse, you know, so I didn't really even want people around me. But the bad part was that everyone was at home. So the space that I would typically have before, I didn't have it anymore. I didn't like that part. Everyone was in the house 2/7. I was just like, can't you guys
It's
go
annoying,
somewhere?
right?
Can't you guys go somewhere else? But yeah, it wasn't that much of an issue for me because I didn't, like, going out wasn't really my thing. So it wasn't, I didn't really have to, like, adjust much, except for the fact that, like, every time you go on the news, it's just always one thing or the other. Yeah, that's pretty much it on my own part.
I think that for me, I always tell people, like, my life actually changed because the job, I had just changed jobs at that time, and I'd moved into, like, an essential worker role. And so during COVID times, like, life for me was the same. I've never been able to work from home. I've never stayed at home. Like, I've been required to be at work, just like prior to COVID, before COVID, after COVID. Like, my life didn't change. And I remember as I was talking to my friend, I'm like, I actually want to work from home. You know, I want to have an opportunity. And he was like, what? You cook the food in the house and send it to work home? What's exactly, like...
Very funny question.
And I was like, please, you should have allowed me to just kind of indulge in that thought of possibly working from home. You just killed us. Like, you just don't do that. I mean, and then I was like, actually, you know, I can actually never work from home. So the job I was at the time, like, nothing changed for me. I had to go to work at a certain time. Or I think the only difference was because of an essential worker, I didn't have to queue for stuff. So the long queues and stuff like that, I didn't have to queue. I just saw my badge and I just walk in and get what I need to get on my leave. I think at the time I was trying to like convert my Ghanaian license into a UK license, and there were no appointments. But then because of an essential worker, like basically for me it was kind of like beneficial to me. So
you got away with a lot of things. Or rather, you got
for me, nothing actually changed. I think I was even more busy at the time than that. People were off with COVID and you have to cover their shifts. And so COVID time for me was busy, was crazy, was busy. I was so tired. Like, I just had too much. I was covering too many shifts and stuff like that. And also the people we were working with couldn't come into work because of isolation and Charlie. Yeah, and then we're not like the buses were free. Like you jump on the bus and you don't pay anything. The trains were free. Just like everything was just free for us. Right now we're paying for us to do our noses. But that for me, so I think that for me, COVID, apart from like major incidents that happened, which we'll get to right now, nothing for me changed. Like I was actually more busy than I was. I think that also put a strain on my relationships because I was never available. I was always at work all the time. Age. So COVID at one of my busiest times. Yeah.
Right. Do you know one thing that I have observed about like COVID normalized like burnouts. Like we started using that term like a lot more. So did you guys like experience like any burnouts? Well, not you, Pams, besides your family. Okay.
Danny, you didn't prepare me for this though. Wow, this is intense.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they keep coming.
Me, instead of used to be mentoring people in good things, see what you're teaching, but that's what we're doing now. Gotcha. Oh no, honey, wait, relax. Because in the last episode, I came for your veganism. Now you feel like you can come for my joblessness. Oh, you think it's pure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Anyways, this part of the gist I can't relate, so I will keep quiet. The rest of you can go.
I feel like burnt out wasn't like a term I would use to describe my COVID experience. It was just doing jobs that like on a normal day I would never do just to make ends meet. And I don't even want to get into describing these jobs. I know we've talked about this. And it's funny because I didn't even mention to my parents, like, I just lost a job, a very good job at an oil and gas company, like a month before the start date. And it was just crunch time. Like as a student, summertime is here, you have to get working, support yourself, that sort of thing. So like for me, that was the biggest shock personally during COVID, like the part where just a month before my work had to start, they're like, we're sorry. The oil and gas companies have been affected so bad, and they started laying off people. And I was just waiting anxiously. Are they going to say anything? I see an email and it says, we're sorry, we can't employ you this summer. I'm like, these people must be out of their mind. Like I've been banking on this job, So I had to take all kinds of jobs, which we might get into later. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was burnt out per se. Like I was lucky to live in a house that was with my brother and two other friends, two other guys. And when guys live, it's like, every day is a fun day for me at least. But it wasn't a thing of we're burnt out or anything. It's just we just didn't know what to do with our lives for quite a while. We just like we're very, very worried for a very long time. But at the end of the day, like things kind of sorted themselves out. Not the way we wanted to, but I wouldn't say things worked out too bad for me at least. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's a positive side to things, to be fair, because I feel like there's a lot of negativity that surrounds the pandemic phase. Yeah. So Yeah. Job full people. Occupied people. Do you want to speak?
I think what's burnt out is at a point because and I was angry because I was so pissed because I had to wake up at 4:30 every day to go to work and people in my house were sleeping. It was a mistake, and I'm like, why? God, why? And I began to question my career path, and I felt like I'm taking the worst career. Within that, you can't work from home. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why are you going to cook the who? It was just so weird, and it got to a point where waking up every morning was hard. And I think those times I used to run to my car videos or something because I was so pissed at the whole world. And people would fall sick, and you have to go fill in their slots and stuff like that. I was tired because we didn't know it was such. COVID is something that never happened before. So even in terms of the procedures at work, it was a try and error period where we're just not working, and but provide because we're providing food. As I was an essential worker, we had to provide food for people. It was 1,400 people every single day, and we can't say we will not provide it. And we had an average of 40 staff come in, and it was reduced down to 4 people.
Oh,
just what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
And the 4 of us, one person will be sick and calling sick. It was crazy. I'm telling you. So, and then I think the perks were giving us of not having to join the queue. Because can you imagine if you have to go to work at 4 with all the craziness and have to go and join the queue to buy food. So all the perks were giving us. As much as maybe people say, "Oh yeah, jumping on the trains for free," yada yada. It wasn't. I won't say it didn't add up to the kind of stress we were going through. But it doesn't matter how you have to go to it because you're not sick. So unless you have COVID, so yeah, I began to question my career path because I wanted to work from home too. Just wake up and walk downstairs and then turn on my computer and do what I needed to do. That's having to drive, because I was driving an hour and 45, 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours to go to work, depending on the traffic situation. But thankfully, during COVID times, reduced to an hour because we're not that many cars on the road.
Yeah.
Right. All of that. So I was burnt out. I was angry. I was questioning my life. I was just going through emotions. But the most difficult thing for me was the gym. I was losing my mind. I couldn't. I was no. Everything about it now, I'm stressed. I'm sweating. No. I tried everything. I bought all the resistance bands, and I was too heavy for them. I tried everything. I think the most difficult thing for me was gym. If it had closed longer, I would have lost my mind. What happened was I was driving an hour and 45 to my friend's house because he had a bench and other things. Just work out for an hour. That's how desperate I was. Because gym is, for me, is therapy. It helps me to de-stress. Gym, where I went, put all my anger, my pain, and and I come back and I'm like, smiley face, hi everyone. He's my Charlie, COVID times. Oh God. Anyways, yeah, no. So I wasn't just burnt out. I was just, the emotions were just a lot. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Pams, I also want to give you an opportunity to say something.
You don't know me. You don't know me. You wish you knew me. You don't know me. If I speak on this matter, my ancestors will be happy. So let's just move on with our lives. Stop that.
I heard you speak about all the perks you had, right, as an essential worker. So I guess the next question is there anything you miss about COVID? Yeah. For me, I miss how it was so normal to not hug people. Yeah, I think that's
love.
Yes, Pams.
Yeah, I miss how conscious people were aware of of germs and dirt and hygiene and stuff like that. I miss the consciousness of hygiene. That seems
Your
to be
OCD speaking.
that's
Yo.
that's the fact that there's germs around.
Let me know if one insults you.
You know, I think there's the consciousness of the germy checkness that has gone is not. It's not giving. Like, that's what I miss. People just generally have now lost the plot and they are back to their tardiness and their dirt, and it's just, no. Like, we should have kept that standard. It just seems to be declining.
You sit in your house now. If you don't want people to be dirty, sit in your house.
I miss people sneezing and people look at them like, by my friend, cover your mouth. So now saying, bless you. No, and I miss people like not sitting beside you, like that one seat space. I miss those, like, I miss like the isolation that it gave, and because people were struggling. I know it was a lot of people went. Look, I'm not undermining guys. I'm not undermining the stress people went through mentally with all of that. But for introverts like us, it was heaven.
A blessing. What? I ask for that level of isolation again over and over.
So I miss the consciousness of like people being of hygiene, like people being conscious of like hygiene, and I miss that, and I also miss like the being able to be like isolate yourself when it's okay, because people like on me now about not being isolating myself, and because I'm just I don't know, but I miss that. It's not about you guys, but that's for me.
I mean, on my own part, I miss being unemployed with my full chest, because at that time we were plenty who were unemployed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So when unemployed people are speaking, me too, I can't speak, because who knows if it's because of COVID I don't have work? Who knows? Nobody knows. But no, I can't give any excuse. There's no reason. So that's one thing I miss about it. Because now if I wake up and I sleep and pray and eat, rinse, repeat, it's like I'm not a serious adult. Like, have to do something with your life. But then nobody's judging because we're all on the same boat. Like, we're a lot. There was you know how they say misery loves company. We were plenty that were miserable. So yeah, that's what I miss the most. It sounds funny, but I'm actually being serious. It sounds funny, but I'm actually being serious. Anyways, banter aside, I'm unemployed because a 9 to 5 is not for me. So I occasionally run businesses here and there. But don't think I don't have anything to do with my life. Don't be like me. Me will say that I'm not using my life to do anything. Don't be like him. But that's the one thing I miss the most. And just the space, the fact that everyone was so careful of like being, so close to you. Like, no one wanted to be in your space for too long. And even when you started, even if you had a flu, nobody wants to know if it's flu, or they'll just give you space. I loved it. That's basically it. I just pretended to be sick just so people don't come to my room.
No, same. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Like, even for me during COVID, like I'm a bit of an introvert myself too. So like going out and just not having people in my space, just being able to sit and have like 2 seats around me empty, no one is trying to talk my ear off on the bus or anything. Like, I love you a lot, but like, please leave me alone. So like, just having that space was nice, but I didn't have that space where I was living. I was living with my brother and 2 other guys, and like, you would buy food, put it in the fridge, come back, gone. And like, all these guys would be sitting in the living room, bros who ate my food, and they would just be smiling at you. Like, nothing throws me off than that smile. Like, if any of them are watching or hearing this, like, may God forgive you all. Like, this is very personal. Like, no space in the house. Like, what's yours is everyone's, like, your food, go on this, go on. Like, I don't miss that.
And you can't even be upset because everyone is going through it.
Right.
And like, you're in the house with some people who don't have a job, and you have a job, and they're like, bro, I just eating your food every now and then, you're complaining. I'm like, don't even start with me on this one. Like, what kind of excuse is that? Like, just not having your space at home was a big thing. Like, everyone is in the house. I don't miss that at all. Like, I love the fact that everybody goes to where they're supposed to go and do your thing.
Right.
Come home, have my own space, do my thing. So no, that's one thing I don't miss about COVID at all.
Oh, I can't wait so much, especially with everyone being home. Like, it really got to me because it was like I can't. Oh, but by the way, guys, in South Africa, it was actually like illegal to like walk outside, like during lockdown. So there was a period where you could not like even go for a walk, like you couldn't exercise, like you were just stuck at home, and even like non-essential stores were closed. So like sneaker stores closed, liquor stores closed. Even when you go to like a shop that sells clothing, right? Because it was in winter, so you couldn't even buy socks and stockings because they were not essential items. So I mean, like, it was tough.
Pardon? What?
Like,
Yeah, it was tough. So I don't know. Do you guys know the shop called Woods? Yeah. So if something was not an essential item, there would be tape on it. So you can't buy. Like, so you could not buy, like, at all. Guys, when I say South Africa has been through it, like, we saw things.
What was the name of the president at the time? I was telling so.
The same one. So it's Cyril.
Who?
Ramaphosa. That's our president.
I don't even know his name. Anyways, God be with him. I wish him the very best. That's all I can say.
Yeah, no, he's really going through it now. Shame. Really going through it now. Yeah, it's not cute. Shame. And he's such a cute old man, guys. Like, he's so cute.
No, but all your presidents have that persona, or is it just me? Like, Zuma also had that, let's all be civil. Let's all be calm. I don't know. I followed Zuma's presidency. He seemed like a very calm old man, but the stories I heard weren't calm at all.
No, I guess it's the South Africanness, like we tend to be very, South Africa could be burning, but there'll still be jokes, it will be okay, we've seen worse, It's just the trauma that's in us, really. I think that's just how we deal with things.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so I spoke about what was difficult to deal. Well, I guess we all did. We did speak about what was difficult to deal with, right, during COVID. People, family. Is there anything else?
I think that for me, the deaths was hard. Yeah, the deaths, especially when it's close to you, it's really painful because you're not even allowed to bury the person, And what most people don't know is the reason why this podcast was started in the first place was because I lost a friend to COVID, and I felt like that was a wake up call for me. And this is something I've actually never shared with anyone, but prior to Quincy passing, he and I had like a major argument, and I didn't even remember the argument. So let me just retrogress. So I was at my friend's house playing video games, which I was not allowed to. God forgive me. I hope nobody's listening over here to come and see me. That during COVID times I was eating and mingling. But because I was driving around, I could go to friends' houses and wherever. Oh my God, they might come for me. But anyways, so I went to my friend's house and I got a call and they were like, "Oh, Quincy has passed." I'm like, "Oh, okay," because I was playing video games. So I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." And then I just continued playing the video game. My friend asked me, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I mean, death happened." Then a friend I met through Quincy introduced me to apps, called me and she says, "Have I ever happened?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yes." And I said, "Okay." So I went home and I'm like, "Oh, Chris, yeah." And I was like, let's go through our chat. I've been through our chat. That's what I typically do. And then I realized that he and I had a serious argument. Like, and it was so stupid. Like, right now, it seems so trivial. But we was talking about, like, when you come to Ghana, he asked me to buy him, like, a base, one of those Nike baseball caps. And at that time, I was going through it, like, I was so broke. And, like, I didn't have, I was like, well, I can buy for you. And he was not understanding that I was like, I couldn't buy it. And I just got pissed. And I'm like, why you guys in Ghana feed everybody in London this, blah, blah, blah. I went to and he was like, fine. And I think a week before he passed, he had tried calling me, and I just saw the phone. And I'm like, I'm not ready to deal with this right now. And I didn't pick up the phone. And I said I'll call him back. And then he died. So yeah, and I'm like I've always tried to think about what exactly he would have wanted to say. I don't get what I'm saying. That I was so upset about that I did not pick up to listen. And I'm thinking like, if I would borrow money and buy him 100 cups, if that would bring him back, but it wouldn't. And also, I can't be upset with myself for not picking up the phone call because at the time, I don't know, it's just a very weird thing. And that's something that I believe COVID did to me. It's not just him. I lost a couple of people during the COVID period. And these are like very young people, which is one of the reasons why I went to the job, because I didn't want to think about the fact that I'll be the reason why somebody gets COVID and dies. So I know that other people talk about the jobs and whatever, but for me personally, I don't think I could have dealt with knowing that I visited somebody's house because I was breaking their law. I don't know. So if anything for me, if COVID changed anything for me, COVID gave me a podcast. It's a good thing. I mean, looking at artists, I think that's something that, I don't know.
That's cool.
No, it's funny that Lee, you're feeling bad for going to friends' place during COVID. Like, I went to parties, bro. Like,
oh wow,
full blown. Like full blown. We didn't care. We just didn't care.
Oh wow.
I mean, I guess it's too late. It's too late for anyone to come for you now, because that's like
exactly.
Yeah.
It was full blown parties, at my place, friends' place, barbecues. We thank God we're alive still, but no.
You guys broke the law.
Not like
this is not my real face, so this is not my real face.
Your face is even here, so too late, Eddie.
This is not my real face.
Too late.
But yeah, didn't see the Pikachu.
And for you, Pams?
Yeah. I don't really think that there's anything that comes to mind at the moment, but I guess COVID, that period wasn't a very, it wasn't really filled with a lot of activities, so I don't really have a lot of highlights because, like I said, it was basically the regular life every day. But I'll say the part that got to me the most was, like me said, the deaths. Because I used to work as a hospital, as a healthcare worker.
What?
So you're actually so rude. I can't believe I went from that to being unemployed. Wow, good. life comes in seasons, But yeah, you see this my unemployment thing. A time will come in my life where you will not be able to reach me because I'm too busy. Can you hear me? You would need best
Tell them. Louder for the people at the back.
You would even have to put Pamela's friend on your bio because of how just relax. Anyways, as I was saying, it was just a death because I remember, like, even the time when I was working in hospital, for every time a patient passed, because I'm such an empath and I'm overly emotional. But obviously, like, if you're working at a hospital, you have to find the balance. So you can't be overly, like, you can't be too emotional. But every time I heard of, like, people passing, it just took me back to, every time I lost a patient, and I don't know the words, like, I'm shaking a bit, but I had to, like, at some point cautiously, turn off the news or, just block it off because it was very traumatizing for me. But yeah, that was the only part of COVID that I didn't really enjoy. Everything else I enjoyed.
So do you guys have, like, any regrets with some things that you did like during COVID?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I don't know, I was telling me this, and I think that's one of the reasons why he wanted me to hop on this was during 2019 Christmas. Me, don't start. Don't start. No. So 2019 Christmas, I go back to Ghana, see family, enjoy, see friends. And the good thing about going back home at that time for me was I hadn't seen my family in a while. But also as a student working and whatnot, I had secured an internship for 2022 summer. So all I had, if you laugh again, I'll turn off your Wi-Fi. So as a student, I only knew I had to get through January to April, just be stable, and I have this job with this oil and gas company. We're all good.
Right.
Fast forward, April comes about. They're like, we're sorry we can't hire you because of COVID and our business isn't doing well. So I had to scramble for a job, and the only job I could get at that time was to go plant trees.
Not you.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So can I just explain? So when Nee told me, he knows. So he's like,
this was real.
no, guys. No, so Nee told me, right? And he told me I did last year, I don't remember when. But he made it seem like it was such a noble thing that you're doing it to save the environment.
No.
I didn't know that it's because you didn't have a job. And I'm just so shocked. So I thought that no. That's why I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like this person was actually going out of their way to save the environment.
Please. We weren't on a mission to save the environment. You just needed income.
But were you getting paid though?
Oh, absolutely. Like you were getting paid by the tree. So depending on the amount of trees you plant, that's how much money you make. Yeah.
And then I'll plant 1 million though.
That's what you think, oh. That's what you think. See, you were talking about waking up at 4:30. We had to wake up at 4:30 a.m. drive to some forest somewhere here in Canada, go plant trees and as
you
flies.
live in Canada? How didn't I get that?
Yeah, that's where I live right now.
-40.
Hey, keep that to yourself, okay?
What did he say? Sorry.
-43 degrees. That's what we're going through.
Imagine.
Right.
Keep your Canada slander to yourself. No, but yeah, that was one thing that I'll say I wouldn't go back and do it because it was such a tough job. Personally, I'll say the average person was planting about 4,000 trees a day. So imagine bending down. Yeah.
A day? Yeah. That's so much money, and you get paid per tree.
Well, you think it's so much money, but listen, the stress.
No, but so how many hours do you work in total in a day? But how many hours did you have to work?
So it was about 8 to 9 hours. So 6 a.m. you need to start going. You get there around 5:30, 5:45, and there's a forest. I'm not talking about
So do they have to count? So are you allocated? Is each person allocated a plot where you? How do they count? I'm so intrigued. How do they count?
So
do they come and do head counts? You planted 500, so you can take the month off.
It's basically a tray, and the tray has a set number of trees. So depending on the number of trees you count, they just do the math, and you've planted 3,005, 4,000, 5,000 trees. Yeah. So that was it.
Could never be.
See, I'm telling you, like it was so bad. Like the heat, the flies, and early in the season, there was one time where it snowed, and we had to just plant. Basically, you put your hand in the snow, reach for it, and put the tree in the soil.
Oh, right.
Like I lost so much weight. I didn't think it was that bad, but I went to a friend's place and the mom FaceTimed us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the mom, she was like, "Oh, Obed is around." So I'm like, "Oh," the mom was like, "Let me speak to Obed." So he brings the phone and the mom sees my face and she shouts, "Jesus Christ." I'm like, "Why? What happened?" And she was like, "Obed, what's wrong with you? What happened to your face?" Like, she was like, "Your face is like balloon. It has deflated." I'm like, "Hey." Literally, I have pictures. Like I look at myself now and back then I'm like, I am not doing this again. Like never in my life. I always say like if I have a stubborn kid, that's what I'll let them go and do, honestly.
You send your kids to plant trees.
Yeah, they will plant trees.
That's actually more. It seems as more of a punishment than a job. To be honest, like it seems like something you do as like community service.
Yeah, or if you're a prisoner.
What? Not you out here planting trees.
You said if you're a prisoner. Oh, good.
But I will still choose to see it in a noble way that you did your part, you know?
Right. Yeah.
With this climate change.
I mean, at least you had a job compared to those who were unemployed. So yeah, that's
true.
That's
prices back for the environment, for the planet.
Exactly. Yeah. You were playing your part.
Exactly.
In saving the planet.
Yeah.
But I'm
as a vegan, I played.
Please, moving on.
I'm also doing my part. But I wanted to ask quickly. So, do you remember like a forest that you planted? Like, do you ever drive past to see?
Wouldn't that be traumatic?
Do you ever look and be like, I did that?
Like I see trees and I just get PTSD right now, honestly. Like I see trees and I'm like, I don't want to do this again. Like it's not something that will pass by a place. Like these are like places in deep inside the forest, so we wouldn't see. But like you see some of these trees that you can tell, like, oh, these look similar to the ones we planted. And like,
you must be proud of yourself. I feel like you can never be a farmer in your life because Charlie, the way your crops will die. The way your crops will die. When you even see seeds, you start crying because
I'll start crying. Because it was hard.
I can imagine.
That summer was very hard. Like
I can imagine. Do I regret anything? I don't think I regret anything because COVID gave me the opportunity to spend a lot of time in prayer. Because it was like there was no need to go anywhere, you know, there was no rush to be anywhere. Like there was just this pause in the world, right?
Yeah.
So you don't even feel like anybody's moving forward. So you're just everybody was at the same place, in my opinion, you know. So I had time to spend a lot of time in prayer, and that gave me the opportunity as well to be able to pour into the lives of people, because at that time obviously there was a lot of anxiety in the air, there was a lot of restlessness, there was a lot of uncertainty. So the people in my life at the time, and even like people that God has sent my way, it just gave me more room to, you know, be a blessing to them. So I'll say that season was one of like the most impactful that I've had in that regard, because when you operate from a place of rest, it's easier to like give to people what you already have, right? So yeah, I don't have any regrets on that part. Would I have done things differently? To be fair, no, because like I said, there was something I wasn't already doing that I had to start doing during COVID. So maybe I'll say that I regret not. I'm not going to get emotional, but I'll say I regret rather not have regrets. I regret not being very intentional about spending time with my dad at the time, because I just didn't like to be at home, because my family live in a city where there's also lots going on, so I don't like to be there, So I had gone home for something. I had gone home for my uncle's funeral in February, and it was supposed to be brief because I was supposed to go back to like the city where I was staying at the time, and then lockdown happened. So my dad is like, "Oh, you can't go anywhere. You have to be at home." So I was getting very restless because I was there for months, and because I was trying to be rebellious, I just didn't want to be like intentionally present, and spend time with anyone. And then when they kind of like eased lockdown here in Nigeria in June, July, I kind of had a fight with my dad because I wanted to go. Like, I'm tired of being here, so I need to get out of here right now. So if I had known that he would pass a year later, I would have been more present. I would have been very intentional about like spending time with him, and just being present basically, because I was in my room a lot. So that's one thing that I regret. But I guess it is what it is. So can you guys just not?
You're doing it again.
Pamela, is that like your coping mechanism is like
it is. I am convinced.
Because you can't do this kind of art. We also need time to kind of process what you tell us,
Let's do that.
Right.
Whenever we share, let me just use whenever I share anything emotional, please let's just move past it quickly. Like, let's move. Let's keep it rolling. Dance if you must. Just shake it off, okay? Thanks. But yeah.
Don't have any regrets. I don't know. I don't think so.
You regret not calling me often, because that time reaching you was like reaching the embassy. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think maybe because all the money that I made during COVID is gone. Like, I think COVID. I felt like that was the time to kind of like make a lot of money, and so I did not focus on relationships. And as I said, Kwesi was a eureka moment for me, where I realized that like there are more important things than like making money. And yeah, I mean, just I don't know, spending more time with people and staying at home more. I don't know. I don't know if I regret anything. I don't think I regret anything in my life. I just feel like everything that happens adds up to who I've become, and everything that happens to me is a lesson to make me better. And so, based on all those experiences, as I said the last time, like I've come to understand the importance of like presence and just being present for people, because you never know. And so, I have regrets. I just have a lot of lessons from the COVID period I've added into who I've become, that have made me like a better person, a better friend. Yeah, maybe just a better human being. It also made me kind of pursue things that I always put like on the back burner, things that I had on my list of things I wanted to do that I never did. But COVID for me was actually a good time, apart from the losses, because one person was a couple of people, and also the anxiety of people being sick and you not knowing, because one of the people with is not knowing what to do. But that's a situation of people. It's like I struggle with people not knowing what to do, what to say. But I've learned to sit through it, and it's okay if you don't have the answers. Just be there. Yeah, I think that COVID actually made me like a better person than I used to be, and it's added into who I've become today. I guess also for Pamela as well. Like now, I guess you would be more intentional with spending time with people and moments, rather than feel like it's something like focusing on what you need to do versus a particular moment where the person is still around and you can enjoy that presence and make memories for when you're gone. So yeah, I think COVID for me it was great for me. Also like with the OCD and cleanness and things. It was a very good time for me. I was happy. How the hair became. But yeah.
Not you saying you feel like COVID made you better, shouldn't it be like the people who are receiving, like, she gotta be like, is people in your life who should tell you whether or not to have it better?
No, I mean, like, personally, maybe, like, if
I'm joking, relax. Because you've not changed with calling me, that's the point I'm trying to make
you
now.
still though, I call you regularly, do I not?
You call who?
Pamela, you're a hater. I hate you right now. I hate you. I hate you off my stomach.
You're a child of God. That's too
very strong
intense.
words.
I felt it in my heart.
Very, very strong words.
This is what we see every day, Obed.
Will Jesus be happy with you? Do you know that? Let me tell you guys something. It wasn't up until this year. I feel like it was one of these New Year resolutions where he had to intentionally say that he will be more conscious of responding to Pamela's messages and calling Pamela. Prior to 2023, hey, reaching me, oh my goodness. You have to climb mountain. People that are climbing mountain will reach before you get reaching it. But it's fine. It's fine.
I'm better though. I'm improved.
Round of applause now. Like I said, it's not the people that are in your life that will tell you whether or not it's better. Is it you that will use your hand and blow your trumpet?
Okay, am I not a better person?
You are trying. You bless God.
So how's this one?
Let me tell you.
So what?
Kindly below, please. If you see what you said at the beginning of this recording, do you remember what you said? You don't remember? You came for me. Like I said, when it's my turn to be blood. Anywho,
I even forgot.
You know? No, I don't forget things. Don't worry. I'm a child of God because I don't forget. I forget, but I don't forget.
It's the vindictive.
I'll meet you in front. You see that thing you said? I'll reference it.
I'll meet you in coming.
For the rest of my days.
Okay. I actually wanted to hear Obed's regrets quickly. Just quick.
Yeah, I think the thing I regret the most was not being home. It's funny because planting trees I'll say was a bit of a regret, but it turned out well in the end because after planting trees, it's funny, there's another experience on its own right after that we wouldn't get into right now, but the company I planted trees for at the end offered me a full-time role, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Planting trees?
No, not planting, please. I'm not planting trees anymore. I'm an analyst for the company, but yeah, we've graduated. We've graduated to that, but I think regrets is just not being there with my family. Like, it's funny because Pam was with her family and she was like, I wanted to leave, whereas I was here thinking, family back home, what's going on? So that's one thing that, looking back, I wish I was there, but they're all good now. We thank God for that. I'll say that's my biggest regret. Yeah.
Alrighty. Okay. Well, any closing statements from you? Last few words. Guys, don't you think we should do like a part 2?
Yeah, but Bontle, you though.
Huh?
Yeah. We haven't heard from you.
Regrets. I wish I wrote it here. No regrets. Do I have any regrets? I don't, because during COVID, that's when I fixed my relationship with food. That's when I went vegan. That's when do I have any regrets? Anyways,
I can't.
I think the thing that I regret about like COVID was how hard I took failure. Because I had failed my driver's license like not once, not twice.
If you were eating meat, I don't think you would have failed multiple times.
Not 3 times. I don't know how many times I failed. Less than 5 though. Definitely less than 5. But this happened I think I failed 3 times, in a space of 2 months. And I took it hard because I've also never failed in life. Hey, I've never failed, and I thought, do you know what? The only thing I'll lose to is to death when God says it's time. Other than that, I was just failure, no. what is failure? But yeah, no. And I took it hard, and then I started spiraling, and it was just not nice. It affected like everything, like my school. Just I was not in a good place, and this happened in 2021. So I think that's the only thing that I do regret was that also I guess, but a good lesson came out of it, that just because I failed doesn't mean that God failed. So yeah, that's the thing that I regret, just grappling with failure like the wrong way. I took it so personal. Whereas now it's just like, it's not deep, like you get to try again, just pick yourself up and dust yourself off. So yeah. Pamela, do you want to say anything to that? Or must I add vegan and then
or I said wanted to say, because I said that if you were eating meat, you would have seen road to pass your driver's test. So maybe next time eat meat, okay? So that you will see.
I won't. Like, let me tell you guys, you know how in Jan everyone is doing like the Daniel fast? I was literally telling my parents that's the perfect time to have my wedding, because the food at my wedding will be Daniel fast friendly. Like, there's no excuse. Like, no, like fruits, like there'll be zero meat in
Please
sight.
don't invite me.
I will invite you. I will invite you.
It's either you create.
We'll pack meat in your bag, because this one is not happening. It's
No,
not.
you will create another menu for me, because I'll come and eat grass.
Donate a cow. That's be yourself to kill
You
it.
don't do that. Oja and me, personally, I'll come and grill it. I will open my
Be a cow that we will come and kill at your wedding.
Bringing out all goods and things.
That's funny. Pamela, you're funny. You're a funny girl.
I am. Duh.
Yeah, it's funny.
Get with it, honey.
Okay. All right. So, guys, me, I don't know how to end this thing. What do I say? Thank you so much to Obed for coming.
Oh, man.
It's the honesty for me. So cute.
So, I think. Yeah. Are you saying something?
Thank you, Obed, for coming. Asking for if you has any last words, and then you just close us. Your closing speech.
Okay. I was getting there, but you got me. Thank you. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us, but also thank you and a big shout out to Obed for joining us. Do you have any last words for us?
I would say honestly, like talking about COVID and everything, I think one thing we should be very conscious of is how fortunate we are, as a people, and how we shouldn't look at everything through the lens of pessimism, rather through the lens of optimism. Let's always look at the brighter side, because hey, we went through COVID and we're here now. We're not dead. We're not sick. Life still goes on, despite the fact that there were losses along the way. We're still here, and every day we're here as a gift. So I say let's be more optimistic rather than pessimistic.
It's really giving motivational speaker.
Oh my gosh! You should listen to his podcast. You should listen to his podcast. Obed, let me tell you, I listened to your podcast and I wanted to get right out of bed and start working. Like, I was just 2 episodes in and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, what's it called for those who don't know?
I think The Higher Power, right? Something like
The
that.
Higher Power podcast, yeah.
Okay, so you guys should go and listen to the Higher Power podcast and you get motivation to move on with your life, okay? Me too, I'll go and listen to it, so I'll find work when I'll listen to it.
I was about to say, Pamela, you find a job. I was literally about to say, you will, after listening. No, I'm joking.
Oh God. Don't worry, we'll meet in front, alright? But yeah, it was nice doing this with you guys. It was interesting, and I look forward to doing this again. Thank you for honoring our invitation, Obed. And like I said, maybe the next time I'll see you will be on your own podcast as a guest.
For sure.
What would you say?
For sure.
Do you think you can motivate people?
What?
You see, the way B shoots shots here, very silent but straight. Like just
Wait, was she talking to me? She's not talking to me like.
I'm shocked. Like, wow, I didn't know this. Wow.
Wait,
Like,
relax. Before I shoot back,
the underdog.
B,
Like,
were you talking to me?
No, I wasn't.
Who were you talking to me?
I was just talking to an inspiring motivational speaker.
And then you said,
yeah, I was just talking.
thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the podcast. We hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to doing more of this with you. Please don't forget to share with us, your favorite memories from COVID, and even the ones that you didn't really like from COVID as well. We look forward to all of them in the comment section on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at LBNT the podcast. It's the same on all social. And interact with us. Let us know how you feel about the episodes or whatever. And until we see you again next week, same time, same place. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.